At 33,000 feet, a commercial airliner was cruising along when a crack suddenly spread across the cockpit windshield. The captain immediately sensed the danger, declared an emergency, and requested clearance to turn back. Moments later, the entire windshield blew outward with a deafening bang. The pressure difference between the cabin and the outside air was so intense that the co-pilot was sucked halfway out of the cockpit window. At the same instant, shards of glass got pulled into both engines, and both engines flamed out. The situation went from bad to worse in a heartbeat. The rush of air slammed the cockpit door open, knocking a flight attendant flat on the floor. Even in the middle of this life-or-death chaos, the crew never stopped doing their jobs, calming the terrified passengers and helping everyone get their oxygen masks on. The co-pilot was still hanging halfway outside the plane. The captain fought with everything he had to pull him back in, but he just couldn't do it. Knowing he couldn't afford to waste another second, he threw every ounce of focus into flying the plane, bringing it down fast to a safer altitude. The aircraft was dropping like a stone. At that rate of descent, it would slam into the snow-capped mountains below within minutes, and everyone on board would be killed. Amid the total chaos, the captain kept his cool and managed to steady the aircraft. A violent burst of turbulence actually threw the co-pilot back near his seat. Meanwhile, another crew member fought his way through the panicked cabin, and with help from passengers made it to the cockpit and got the door shut tight. He then handed both pilots oxygen masks and sent out a mayday call. The moment ground control picked up the distress signal, they kicked their full emergency response into gear. All other flights were grounded, the entire runway was cleared, and police, firefighters, paramedics, and security teams were standing by, ready to go. But the danger was far from over. A massive wall of storm clouds suddenly loomed ahead, lightning flashing inside them. The turbulence was so severe that the plane couldn't stay on its original route. The captain chose to fly around the storm while anxious passengers watched in terror. After circling for a while, a narrow gap opened up in the clouds. The captain steered the plane straight through it. Within seconds, the aircraft was swallowed by dark clouds, with lightning crashing all around. The plane could have broken apart at any moment. Then chunks of hail started pounding the fuselage. Just as the plane was about to break free of the storm, the opening closed up, and the aircraft vanished from radar. Everyone at ground control was bracing for the worst. Then, in a flash, the plane punched through the clouds and reappeared on the radar screen. A collective sigh of relief swept through the control center. But another threat came right on its heels. Dead ahead stood a towering, snow-covered mountain range. The captain reacted in a split second, pulling the plane up and changing course. The aircraft narrowly cleared the peaks. Working together seamlessly, the crew gradually brought the plane down, lined it up with the runway, and landed safely. Just moments earlier, the passengers had been certain they were going to die. Once they were on the ground, many broke down in tears of joy and relief. This is a true aviation incident that happened in 2018.